All right, let's get into a truly special one. We're talking about Fyodor Dostoevsky's 1848 short story, White Nights. Now, if you think Dostoevsky is all doom and gloom, this story might just surprise you. It's set during those famous, almost magical summer nights in St. Petersburg, where the sun barely sets. And it's a story all about deep, aching loneliness. What happens when you find a sudden, powerful connection, and how a love story can bloom and wilt in just 4 nights.
So, first things first, we've got to meet our main character. He's a man who feels like a ghost in his own city. He's so cut off from everyone and everything that he has this special name for himself. He's a dreamer.
I mean, this quote really hits you, right? It's the absolute core of who he is. Picture this. He wanders the streets of St. Petersburg completely and utterly alone. He's lived there for 8 years and he knows nobody. So you know what he does? He makes friends with the buildings. Seriously, he says hello to them, notices when they get a new coat of paint, and even feels sad for them when they look a little run down. That's his life. So what's a dreamer to do when reality is so bleak? Well, he escapes. He dives headfirst into his own imagination. It's this incredibly rich, vibrant world he's built inside his own mind. In there, he's a hero, a lover, an adventurer. He lives 1,000 incredible lives, all without ever leaving his lonely little room. The only problem is, none of it is real. But then, one night, something happens. The wall between his fantasy world and the real world just comes crashing down, all because of one chance meeting.
He's on one of his lonely walks when he sees a young woman, Nastenka, sobbing by a canal. He overcomes his shyness, saves her from some guy who's bothering her, and they start talking. And for him, it's like a lightning bolt. A real, actual human connection. It's everything he's ever wanted. They make a plan to meet again, but she gives him one rule. One very important condition. He cannot, under any circumstances, fall in love with her. And you just know, that's a promise he's probably not going to be able to keep.
So, over the next couple of nights, they do just that. They meet, they walk under the strange twilight sky, and they start to tell each other everything. I mean, their deepest secrets, their hopes, their fears. It all comes pouring out. Nastenka finally tells him why she was crying, and what a story it is. She was raised by her blind grandmother who, to keep her from getting into trouble, would literally pin Nastenka's dress to her own. But then a young man rented a room in their house, and they fell in love. Before he left for Moscow, he made a promise. He'd be back in 1 year to the day to marry her. Well, that year is up, he's back in the city, and she's been waiting by that canal, hoping, just hoping he'll appear. And here's where it gets really complicated. This is so crucial. They're both incredibly lonely and full of hope, but their hopes are pointed in completely opposite directions. You see, the dreamer is looking at Nastenka and seeing his future, his dream made real. But Nastenka? She's looking right past him. She sees a kind, wonderful friend who can help her get back to her past. They're on two totally different pages.
So as the nights go by, you can feel this shift happening. Nastenka's hope for her old love starts to fade, and as it does, the dreamer's hope just catches fire. It all builds to this one incredible moment that's as beautiful as it is fragile. She waits, and nothing. Her lover is a no-show. Her hope just dissolves into despair. She's sure she's been completely forgotten. And who's there for her through all of it? Our dreamer. He comforts her, he listens to her, and the whole time, he's just falling deeper and deeper in love. And then, in this moment of total heartbreak, she turns to the dreamer. It's like she's seen him for the first time. How kind he is, how selfless. And in that instant, she decides she can move on. She tells him she loves him, accepting his love in return. And just like that, his world explodes with happiness. The ultimate fantasy, the one he's played out in his mind 1,000,000 times, is actually happening. They're making plans, talking about moving in together, building a life. For one perfect, shining moment, his dream is real. But you knew it was coming, didn't you? Reality always has a way of crashing the party. As they're walking, lost in their happy plans, a man steps out of the shadows. And yep, it's him. Her former lover has finally returned. And without a single moment of hesitation, she runs straight to him. She leaves the dreamer with a quick, final kiss on the cheek, like a silent thank you and goodbye,
and then just vanishes into the night with the man she was always waiting for. And our dreamer is left standing there on the pavement, completely and totally alone again. The story wraps up the very next morning. The sky is gray, it's raining, and the dreamer is right back where he started, in his lonely room, trying to make sense of the emotional whirlwind of the last 4 nights. And as if his heart hasn't been through enough, he gets one last letter from Nastenka. She's begging for his forgiveness, saying she's getting married in a week. She explains that her heart just couldn't help it. It just went back to where it always belonged. Now, you'd think you'd be angry, right? Or at least bitter. But his reaction is what makes this story so incredible. There's no resentment at all. Instead, he just feels gratitude. He blesses her and her new life, genuinely thankful for that brief, beautiful moment of happiness they shared. And this is the final, unforgettable question the story leaves us with. Back in his lonely room, the dreamer has to wonder, was that single perfect moment of connection, was it enough? Is one moment of pure joy enough to sustain a person through a lifetime of loneliness? And really, that's a question Dostoevsky leaves for all of us to think about, too.